Christine, how much does it hurt the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out?
It is devastating to the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out.
I know a lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion.
The WNBA now finds itself under mounting financial pressure, with growing concerns that the league is struggling to sustain its momentum while Caitlin Clark remains out of the lineup. Her absence has once again underscored the enormous impact of the player who helped elevate the league's visibility and attract unprecedented attention. This is the story of an organization that continues to face difficult challenges at a pivotal moment, even as its biggest star watches from the sidelines, and how a series of questionable decisions may be carrying a significant financial cost with each passing day.
And the truth is the truth, and the data is there. And what we saw when Caitlin was out the last time, the 5 games that she missed earlier in the season, the WNBA's viewership dropped more than 50%. Not just the Fever, but the entire league.
In today's landscape of nonstop headlines and viral debates, separating fact from speculation has become increasingly difficult. That reality became impossible to ignore when Caitlin Clark was ruled out on June 24 with a quad injury, exposing just how heavily the league's momentum depends on one player. Now, history appears to be repeating itself as Clark remains sidelined once again, this time with a groin injury and no confirmed timetable for her return. Her continued absence has reignited questions about the league's ability to maintain the same level of attention, energy, and commercial success without its biggest attraction on the court.
Quad injury jumped to her groin likely because of compensation, but the thing that you have to be careful of is if, say, you try to rush her back from this injury as well, then you're getting into this territory where a very serious injury can happen. That is what the Indiana Fever, that is what Caitlin need to avoid the best that they possibly can. So if it means that Caitlin is out for 3 weeks, if it means that she is out all the way through All-Star, then so be it.
The numbers painted a striking picture. National television audiences for WNBA games reportedly fell by nearly 55%, dropping from an average of approximately 1.81 million viewers with Caitlin Clark in the lineup to about 847,000 during her absence. Indiana Fever broadcasts also experienced a reported 53% decline in viewership. Yet this is where the situation becomes even more difficult to overlook. What initially appeared to be a temporary setback has evolved into a far more significant challenge, exposing the consequences of decisions that continue to raise serious questions about the league's long-term strategy and its willingness to confront the issues affecting its growth.
The WNBA ratings have dropped over 55% across the board.
Hey, guess what, guys?
League is Caitlin Clark.
The league is Caitlin Clark. She is the WNBA, guys.
Sidelined with a left quad strain May 24th. National TV viewership has plunged since then 55%. Before the injury, the Fever, her team, were averaging 1.81 million viewers, almost 2 million. Since her injury, fewer than 850,000.
While Caitlin Clark continued to do what she has consistently done throughout her career, sell out arenas, drive record television audiences, and contribute significantly to the league's commercial growth, the WNBA faced increasing criticism for not doing enough to safeguard the player who has become one of its greatest financial and promotional assets. Many observers questioned how so much attention could be placed on debating on-court incidents while concerns about protecting a player responsible for a substantial share of the league's economic momentum remained unresolved. What makes the situation even more striking is that it echoes challenges the league has encountered before. Following injuries to one of its biggest stars, declines in viewership and revenue have surfaced in the past, yet the same concerns continue to resurface. Rather than demonstrating that lessons have been learned, the pattern suggests the organization may still be struggling to break away from decisions that have repeatedly carried costly consequences.
It's alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA. At the end of this season, the WNBA will go into CBA negotiations. If negotiations go well, then every single player in the WNBA has a much better chance of making so much more in their next contract. And that's one thing when you start thinking about how many people stopped watching when Caitlin Clark got injured. A lot of people stopped watching because they are boycotting the WNBA. They don't want to give viewership to any other teams or any other players, whether they like other players on the team or not, because of how the media and the league itself has handled Caitlin Clark and how they have treated.
If you're enjoying this breakdown, be sure to subscribe for more coverage like this. The financial impact became noticeable almost immediately after Caitlin Clark's absence. Ticket prices for Indiana Fever games dropped significantly, with some seats reportedly falling from around $860 to nearly $250. Across several games she missed, average ticket prices also declined sharply, highlighting the enormous influence she has on fan demand and the league's overall market appeal. Several road games that had been moved to larger arenas in anticipation of Clark-driven attendance suddenly faced the challenge of filling those expanded venues without her on the court. One clear example was the highly anticipated rematch between the Los Angeles Sparks and the Indiana Fever, where ticket prices reportedly decreased from roughly $210 to about $95. The original matchup attracted approximately 2.25 million viewers, making it one of the most watched WNBA games in recent history. Without Clark in the lineup, however, the rematch lost much of the widespread attention it had previously generated, illustrating just how much her presence influences interest from casual fans as well as dedicated followers of the league.
Really concerning about this is the fact that we are only a month into the regular season and Caitlin Clark has already been out with 2 injuries. With the first one being her having to miss some time with a left quad strain. Now, of course, this is concerning because if you're already on your second injury, you don't want to be that player that is always hurt. Cough, cough, Embiid, cough, cough, Anthony Davis. So I really do hope that the Fever really sits her out right now for a while, only because you don't want her to have more long-term injuries and be more.
Veteran sports journalist Christine Brennan has emerged as one of the most outspoken critics of the WNBA's approach to managing and promoting its biggest star. Her upcoming book, On Her Game, Caitlin Clark and the Revolution in Women's Sports, is expected to explore Clark's impact on the sport while examining the challenges and controversies surrounding the league. Following another stretch of intense physical play involving Clark, Brennan argued that the WNBA had once again fallen short of meeting the expectations created by its unprecedented surge in popularity. Her point was straightforward: with record audiences tuning in, every decision and every on-court moment is receiving greater scrutiny than ever before. Brennan also noted that Clark has become a major driver of the league's television audience, making her one of its most valuable attractions. Against that backdrop, she questioned whether enough has been done to discourage unnecessary physical play that could sideline the player responsible for drawing so much attention to the league. In many ways, it resembles a business failing to fully protect the very person whose work brings customers through the door.
Man, congratulations to the WNBA. Your ratings are going to drop by 55 to 60% once again. I believe the WNBA have successfully broken Caitlin.
A growing number of observers argue that this pattern has become increasingly familiar. Caitlin Clark frequently finds herself on the receiving end of highly physical defense, with some critics suggesting that certain opponents focus as much on disrupting her rhythm as they do on simply competing. Reports have also highlighted that the Phoenix Mercury accounted for a large share of the league's most controversial fouls against Clark, including several during the 2026 season. The reaction to those moments has often created a no-win situation. When Clark responds, she is accused of being overly confrontational,